Okay, I'm back here again with a Mini Mark II. We're talking about external door hinges. So that would be Mark 1, Mark 2 Minis. Here they are in place, and with any luck you can remove them by just undoing the hardware on the inside of the A panel. Each hinge is different, and I'll show you the differences. Okay, here's the hinges here. You can see how the body takes a curve to the inside, and here at the bottom it also curves to the inside but downward. So you'd have to place each hinge in the right position to get it to work properly. With any luck you can undo the hardware on the inside. It's usually 7/16 nuts, and I'll just take this one off here, and there you go here. They always have a gasket in behind. Here is the fiber one, right here, and this one seems to be a type of nylon. And it's lasted 40 years, so I can't complain about that one. These ones I know they sort of deteriorate over time. Now, here's the inside of the hinges. What else do we have here? We got pins and bushings. There's new ones here, some nuts, some studs that I made up. I just got 1/4-inch threaded rod. I got grade 5, so harder steel. Something a little bit stronger. Pins and bushings, that's the old ones, and that's all the old hardware. Even this little bit here, I got it out luckily with some torches. Not easy, but it comes out. And that's where I'd start with hinges if you're rebuilding them, because if you can't get it out or you damage the hinge, it's now garbage. So start by doing your hardware and see if you can get them all out. Here you can see it's 1, 2, 5, 6, well 6 is on the top, 5's on the bottom, 4, 3, and 8, 7. So each half is actually numbered, which is handy. But I don't know if every hinge is numbered. There might be aftermarket ones that don't have numbers on them. So I would at least mark them until you know what they fit, or you'll be doing a lot of trial and error. Here's a quick map of where each hinge goes. So 3, 4 is the left upper, 7, 8 left lower, 1, 2 right upper, 5, 6 right lower. All right, here we got the hinge, and I'm just gonna twist it back and forth and see if there's play. And look at that. Look at all the play in that hinge. So a little bit here, and you get to the other end of the door, there's a lot of movement, and that wears on everything. So it's not hard. Just take out these pins and bushings and replace them. All right, here's the other one. I'll just twist it, and I've got nothing, or very little, if anything. So I'm not going to do one and not do the other. I'll just do them all as a set, and you know everything's brand new. Here's another good thing to know. On the upper hinges, there's hardware. There's a wedge that goes on the hardware that attaches. So here it's a stud. You can see it's got this wedge, and that takes up the contour of the door. If you don't use that wedge, you're going to bend your door, which you don't really want to do. At least I don't. And here we go again. Here's the upper. It's got that wedge here and here. Now it's not on the A panel. There's no way where the studs go through. It's only on the inside of the door. Okay, over here on the vise here on the workbench, I have a piece of hockey stick. Yeah, I'm Canadian, so I use a hunk of hockey stick, but it works great. I drilled a couple holes, so that way when I put my hinge on top, that will line up, and I can punch this out, this pin, and it'll go into the hockey stick. And that stops you from damaging the outside, which is, you know, your body finish. You don't want to put gouges, you don't want to put hammer blows into it, so you want to be a little bit careful. Okay, I haven't figured out how to hold a hammer and a camera and a punch all at the same time, so I'll just have to show you little bits. There's the punch. I'm punching out the pin, knurled side out, very important. Okay, here's the hinge. You can see I've I punched the pin out this far, so it's only in the bottom half here. I'll knock the rest of it out in a minute. All right, here's the other part of the hinge, the longer part, and you can see the brass bushing in there. So next, I'll get the proper punch, which fits exactly, and I'll punch that right out. Here we go. I'm punching out the brass bushing out of the hinge, and it's coming out almost all the way. There it is. All right. All right. When I got the pin out, there's something I should note to you as well, that they're just ground down to make them nice and smooth. So although these are new pins, they do stick out just a little bit. And if you very carefully grind them or file them, maybe it might be a better idea. You can just make that nice and smooth, because this is your external body. You want it looking good. Now, I got a very small piece of sandpaper, and I put it in, clean the inside of this hole, and we'll do with both these as well. There we go. Clean up both those holes at once. And I'm going to do a little bit more off camera. Another good thing to do is get a flat file and just file off all the rust that's on here and get this back to metal. Now, you're not going to be grinding it down or anything like that. You want it nice and flat. Do this and then do the accepting end. So in between here, and just clean up those surfaces. Get all that rust and grime out of there. All right, so carefully, I'm going to hammer this bushing into this hole. I want to make sure it's started and straight. That's what's key. And you're just going to tap it in with enough force to move it. Right, so the new bushing's in. And what I do on the side that I just put it in a little bit extra, just to make sure it's below the surface. And then I just put a round file in and just twist and make sure that there's no burrs just on that very edge where I was hitting. Okay, and then next I'm going to put the pin in and we can reassemble it. Now I put a little bit of oil, I put a little bit of transmission oil on the pin, and I put a little anti-seize on this surface and on that surface. And hopefully that'll stop any seizing up. All right, so remember, the pin only goes in one way, and the way I marked it, I put a little bit of yellow paint. You can just see it's barely on there, but still there. And that's the way that your knurled pin is going to get pushed into. Okay, very carefully hammer the pin in, and just make sure everything is going right. I can see the pin. There we go. It's going well. A little bit of oil on there. Again, this is where the hockey stick comes in. I hammer on it. That way I'm not putting vice marks into my nice finish on the sides. So I've driven it all the way in. There we go. Okay, same hinge as before. The one that had all that play. Twisting it back and forth, trying to get play out of it. Nothing. It's good. It's solid. Job well done. And then I'll just clean this up. Like I said, touch it with a grinder or a file, and the other end as well. Okay, so there we go. Another hinge done. One more to go. I'll finish that off and I'll have a full set of 4. I hope this helps out anybody that needs help with Mini Mark 1, Mark 2 external hinges. Thanks a lot. Bye.